Hi. I would first like to ask you to do something. Look to the person next to you. Now, close your eyes and reach for his or her hand and introduce yourself. Just tell them your name. You can you can open your eyes again. What you just did was break with the ordinary. I imagine it felt a bit awkward, uncomfortable, but also maybe a bit of fun. Actually, you just participated in a mini training of stretching your comfort zone and trying out new things, just by changing one little thing, just by closing your eyes. I discovered that doing little things in a different way totally changed my life. Actually, I discovered this twice. The first time by accident, and the second time when it helped me get through rough times. Let me take you back to the first time. It was about 6 years ago, and I just started out my business as a coach. And I had all these hard questions to answer. Who am I as a coach? And who are my customers? Where do I find them? And how am I going to make money? And I couldn't really find the answers to those questions, although I tried really, really hard. And that frustrated me. I got stuck. I watched a lot of TED Talks back then. But they didn't really change the situation, although they felt really good to watch. But there was this one talk, and that one did change everything. It was by a scientist and the founder of the National Institute for Play. And it taught me that play is essential, not just for children, but for adults as well. And it made me wonder, what would happen if I would start playing more? So I thought, what the heck, let's try. So I made up this fun experiment. For 1 month, I would add something playful to my to-do list. Every day, one play task. So when I started this experiment, I did things that I remembered from my childhood, like chalking on the sidewalk or hula hooping, or playing tag. But as the experiment went on, I became more creative. So I sent postcards to strangers, or left presents in public spaces, or made drawings with my eyes closed, like you just introduced yourself with your eyes closed. And I was surprised by how fast I started to notice changes. I had hoped that it would make me more happy. And it did. Those few minutes of play and the fun I had stayed with me the rest of the day. But there were more unexpected things happening. I became more flexible and far more creative. Day-to-day problems like the broken washing machine, or what to cook for dinner, or all the errands I had to run, suddenly didn't seem such a big issue anymore. And overall, my life felt more gentle and effortless and free. These play tasks helped me break out of my routines and challenged me to try out new things. And I figured, while they worked for me, they might also help other people. So I started to make all kinds of products around them, an online community, and I organized workshops, and I published a card set with PLAYtasks. Every card had an assignment on it that would let people break out of their routines or let them try new things. And people started to join. Hundreds of people ate yogurt with a fork. Or they used made-up official-sounding words in meetings at the office. Or they secretly took photos of strangers' feet. And lots of people tried which objects you can hold between your upper lip and your nose. You can try this at home. So, what I had hoped for turned out to be true. My inbox and my mailbox filled with messages and letters and postcards from people who told me that it helped them, that it changed their perspective on their daily lives, and that they gained more courage even, and started to explore more and try out new things, and that they felt lighter and more spontaneous and alive. And all that by something that I had discovered by accident. So, what is it that these play tasks make to have these effects? Well, you might think it's about play, but I think it's something else. I think it's about this web we construct, a web of how we're supposed to do things, or how we learn to do things, or the most efficient way to do things. A web made of invisible lines of patterns and structures and routines, of musts and shoulds and have-tos. And these playtasks, they shake up that web. They show you that you can bend the rules. And they make you aware that you can do things on your own way, that you have the freedom to do things in a way that fits you and that bring you joy. That you can weave your web the way you want to. So now you might think, well, there's nothing wrong with my web, so please don't touch it. And don't shake it up and do those things. But you're right. You're right. Routines and doing things the way you were taught to, there's nothing wrong with that. And order and structure help us to keep life simple and to get things done. But when those structures become rigid and inflexible, then they can cause stress and frustration, and you get stuck. And that's what happened to me. I fell into hard times. I couldn't pay my bills anymore, and every week it was a struggle to make ends meet. And these playtasks, they slowly disappeared out of my life, although they kept lingering in the back of my mind. But surely they couldn't help me with this. They just felt silly. I had all these adult problems, and this was serious shit. How could eating yogurt with a fork help me to pay the bills? So I stayed in my problem-filled, miserable adult life for almost a year. Until that one morning, a very stressful morning, when I saw my card set, the playtasks, lie in the back of a drawer. And they started calling me. He said, "Psst, Marieke." But of course I didn't listen, because I had all these things to worry about and a million things to do, so I ignored them. But they started to call louder and louder. And then finally I gave in. I pulled a card. And the card said, "Eat something you've never eaten before." I thought, oh no, not that card, you know. I was so busy, so I really didn't have any time to play. But I had to go out and get something and think of something to get. But on the other hand, this wasn't much fun either. I felt stressed and frustrated, so let's give it a try. So I went to the supermarket and I walked to the section with tropical fruits and vegetables, where I normally just pass by because I don't really have a clue what to do with these things. And I bought this thing and I didn't even know what it was, if it was a fruit or a vegetable, and it was purplish in a form of a rugby ball. And I took it home and I sliced it open, and it was beautiful on the inside. It was this intense white with little black dots. And it tasted like something I've never tasted before, really fresh. and I made a salad with it. And it was delicious. From the moment I stepped outside to start this little adventure, my day turned around. And after I had my last bite, my to-do list suddenly didn't seem that endless anymore. So my PLAYtasks helped me again. Even in these rough times, they gave me the relief and the flow that I so desperately needed to deal with all these hard issues. So I started to deliberately use them to get me out of times when I got stuck and out of these rough times. And every time I do them, they bring me something. A little relief or some fun, but it can even help me with a breakthrough from problems I'm trying to solve. So, what about you? Don't you have moments where you feel stuck and everything just works against you? Do you need things to start moving again? I'm happy to tell you that you can do this yourself. Just change a routine or try something new. When you do this, keep 3 things in mind. 1, don't take yourself too serious. Have a little fun with yourself. 2, keep it simple, ridiculously simple. And 3, you can do this anytime, anywhere. There are really 1,000 things you can do. So let's take dinner. Next time you have dinner, you can just change seats or sit in another room. Or you can eat breakfast for dinner. Or you can start with dessert or only use yellow ingredients. Or you can do this at work. Next Monday, you can deliberately wear 2 different socks to work. Or change your lunch with your colleague. Or leave secret messages at the water cooler. Like I said, you can really do this anytime, anywhere. Also now. After this talk, there will be a break. And probably you will be talking to somebody, hopefully somebody new. So ask them something that you would normally never ask. I hear all these questions, I see them like... So don't ask them, what brought you here, or what work do you do? But ask them, in what kind of position do you like to sleep? Have you ever asked that? Or you can ask them about the keys on their keychain. Or just ask them what's their favorite word. Break your conversation routine. Oh, and one more thing. Don't wait until you get stuck. Just every now and then, change the routine. Do something different. Try something new. And you'll be surprised by how it will make your life easier and more fun. I can't wait to hear your adventures.